How are we doing today? Everybody doing good? It's good to see everybody back hanging out. And good job chatting. Everybody's saying hello and hi. That's awesome. So, Navat, let's see who else is here. Selma, Rosa, what's up? We got... Is it Kale? Kale? I'm not sure. I want to make sure I say your name. Fonseca. Kale? Ciao? Let me know how to pronounce that there. But it's good to have everybody here today. As you can see, I'm dressed up, ready to teach some English. We're going to do English for academic purposes. It's going to be awesome. And I'm super excited to do that. So how has everybody been? What kind of questions do you have? How are you going to use your English for academic purposes? I'd love to chat more about that. Rose, is it okay? So it's I still don't know the capital CA. It could be K-O, K-O. It's pretty. I'm gonna have to like hang out with you or something after class one time and just have you say it for me. Tahir, what's up? Hey, good to have you here. Thanks for being here. Gadir, hello. How are you? All right. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna talk about a lot of different things in class today. Kind of go over what we went over before with note taking. But like I said, I kind of want to get to know everybody, and I don't know who that player is, but now I can look it up. Thank you. Tariq, hello, welcome. Good to have you here. Okay, so I'm curious. You're showing up to this class. I see so many great familiar names, and it's really nice. I like that a lot. I like that you guys want to come back and hang out and learn English with us. And I hope some of you become our premium subscribers. That way I can do one-on-one hangouts and things of that nature. If you're curious about being a premium subscriber, you can email Zach. He's happy to answer any of your questions. He's been in the chat before. But with that, you will get some premium features such as one-on-one hangouts with me occasionally, and we will do homework. You'll have access to the Smrt curricula. So all the lessons you see that I teach, you will be able to go in and explore those yourself. Selma, hi, how are you doing? And it's just, it's really cool. It's cool to be able to have those extra things. So if you want more information, talk to Zach, and he can set you up with that and give you some more details. I'm going to check and see what our premium attendance looks like really quick. Okay, so yeah, Rosa, you're here, Searing, and Jasleen, if you're here, I haven't heard from you in the chat, so please say hello, and hopefully Azalea and Charlie and Jennifer will log in soon too. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and open up our lesson in the background. But as I do that, I'd still like you guys to tell me, what's your goal here? What do you want out of these classes? Do you want to improve your English just for fun? And this is a challenging course. This is English for academic purposes. So are you planning on going to an English-speaking university in USA or Canada or somewhere like that? Let me know. I know I've spoke to some of you, our premium users, on our Hangouts, and I know one person is a nurse in New York, and that's awesome. I love learning about those kind of things. I'm not going to say who that person can say so if they want, but it's really great that we get to connect like this over such a long distance. So thanks for being here every week, and I love being able to be your teacher. So thank you. Okay, let's see. The topic of the lecture today is a continuation of what we talked about Last class. Oh, Selma, you want to take an IELTS test? Good. This is a perfect class for that, actually. Much of the vocabulary, I would say the majority of the vocabulary is academic, and they're TOEFL and IELTS type words. So this is a great class for you. Nilafir, you want to improve your English? Excellent. That's the best reason to be here, right? Good job. And okay, Navat, you want to learn just for fun? That's great. That's a perfect way to go about learning English. It should be fun, right? That's why we're here. Yusuf, hi, welcome. Good to have you. Okay. John was asking what the topic of today's lecture was. Oh, and Selma, you brought your brother and best friend today. Hi, brother. Hi, best friend. How you guys doing? Welcome to the class. Okay, and Michael there, which I'm going to figure out how to pronounce your name, you brought a friend as well. Thank you. That's awesome. It's really good to know. If you guys do have other people watching, we can only see your chat. So let us know. Tell us if you have friends or family that are there watching with you. That's great to know, and we'll say hi. Okay, so let me see. Romisa, I hope I'm saying that correctly. You're here to improve your writing skills. We will do a little bit of writing homework. Writing homework is generally for our premium subscribers because it's a lot of correcting outside of class. So like I said, if you're interested in that, talk to Zach, who's moderating right now in the chat, and he can give you more information. Okay, so hi, out of the box. Okay, back to John's question. What is the topic of the lecture today? Last class, we went over note-taking skills. And that was actually from Unit 2 here. We went over note-taking skills and, listening skills, note-taking. We talked about different ways that we can use strategy in taking notes, different techniques we can use. We shared ideas about what the best method is, and we also did a lot of listening practice, listening for keywords. And Zaid, hi, welcome. What I wanted to talk about today was some of those symbols that we were talking about in last class. And this, I believe, is in Unit 4. I gotta find it really quickly, sorry. Maybe not. Give me just a moment here and I will find it for us. As I'm looking for this, feel free to keep going in the chat. And we will discuss why we might use taking notes. Like, why do you take notes? Do you take notes at work? Do you take notes at home? Do you take notes in class? Are you at university right now? How do you use notes? As I search for this for you. Okay. Give me just a minute. I'm going to go off video for a second here so that I can find that for you. But talk with each other and let's discuss why we use notes in our lives and what strategies we like best. Do you like to use paper? Do you like to text message? Do you like to use voice memos? What is your best way of taking down information? So go ahead and do that just briefly, and then I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that hiccup there. I just wanted to make sure I found the correct lesson for you. During the chat there, while I was finding this lesson, it looks like we talked about the Cornell method, which is a great method of note-taking. That's a method I use personally. Also mind mapping, and Tahir uses a voice recorder. Those are all great. I will note that the problem with using a voice recorder, or even this video long term, I'm going to give you a lot of good information, but there's going to be times in this video, like just now, where I'm searching for a lesson, and this will happen if you attend American universities, Canadian universities, Australian, any university, anywhere in the world. The idea of taking notes is to condense the information, to say it in less space and keep it concise and simple. It's like an economy of language. Make it economical. Say more using less words. That is the idea of taking notes and organizing them later. So Tahir, if you take your voice recorder and make notes, as long as you condense them down later and maybe write them down, I think that's a good idea. But many students have tried to record entire lectures, but you're in a lecture for an hour or more, and it's actually very unlikely that you're going to sit down later and listen to that entire hour again. Maybe you want to take your notes at home, and that's fine, but then you also leave the possibility for the error of running out of battery or space or something like that. So I highly suggest taking notes either by typing in a Google Doc or writing on a piece of paper if you prefer. I like typing because I'm quicker, honestly, than trying to write by hand. But some people are one way or the other. So let's talk about the Cornell method really quick. I just want to look for examples for you. So this is basically the Cornell note-taking system. You divide your paper up, and there's lots of different examples online. Just type Cornell note-taking and choose any image. But this is where your notes go, right here, this section. I'll try to zoom in if it lets me. So this is your piece of paper. You divide it down about 2/3 of the way to the bottom, and then you draw a big line all the way at the bottom. And you separate here, again, like 2/3. So this is 2/3, this is 1/3. Here's where you take your notes. You put your title at the top, and then you take your notes here. Here, you use this space for keywords, questions, ideas, notes about your notes. So if you write something down here, but then you have a question about it, you write the question over here and draw a little arrow or line. I think this is a very good way to take notes. It works for me, but the point is, just because I teach you one strategy doesn't mean that's the one you have to do. I very much encourage you to find your own way, whatever works best for you. So if voice recorder works best for you, Tahir, then use it. That's great. I'm just explaining that it didn't work for me. If you like mind mapping, Romayesa, then use that. That's what works for you. This bottom portion, my students usually ask at this point, what is the bottom portion for? I used it for, a lot of people say different things, but most people say summary. I used it for summarizing all these ideas. So someone earlier said that they take their notes back home and organize them. Rosa, I think that was you. And this is where you would do that. So this allows you to do a little bit of organizing right in the moment, right there, even in class. If the teacher takes a break and is drinking her water or his water, you can try to start to summarize. That'll save you time. Okay, all right, and both classes there, Mr. Michael, who I have to figure out how to pronounce your name correctly. Thank you for showing up to this one too. You're awesome. Thank you. That's great. So you say that you use Google Drive or Google Keep and Google Drive and Evernote. Me too. Me too. Actually, I haven't really explored Google Keep a whole lot, and I'm going to look into it. But I use Google Drive every day. And I use Evernote for like the sometimes information that I need. But I love Drive because my Gmail's always open. I can get notifications on my phone. It's great. Clara, hi, welcome to class. We're talking about note taking. Selma, you say you like to write the date and title on top. I completely agree with you. That's a great idea. Please do that. It's important to have the subject at the top, and the date helps because if you have many classes or a busy schedule, you'll remember. Some teachers jump from one topic to another. So how can I deal with this situation? It depends on the class. What kind of classes are you talking about? University classes? I mean, in general, I can say that when teachers jump from one topic to another, I do that myself as a teacher. And if I ever do, you can yell at me and be like, Josh, stop, go back. I want to know more. And I'll happily do that. But when my teachers would jump topic to topic, sometimes I would spread my notebook open all the way, and I would keep 2 pages and divide them into several categories. And I'd sort of, because sometimes they would jump to a topic, and then they would come back to the other topic, which made my notes very confusing. My roommate in college, she would use different colored pens, and that helped her. So she'd just pick up a different colored pen and use that to distinguish between topics. So there's a couple different ways you could do it. And if anybody else has suggestions, please let me know. I always love learning new things. Maybe you know a way of note taking that's better than my way for me, and I just haven't learned it yet. So I can learn from you too. All right, Mukhtar, welcome. Hello. It is late. Thank you for being here with us, though. It's not late where I am in the US of A, here at Spokane College of English Language. It's 2:54 in the afternoon. But thank you for waking up or staying up late to be here with me. Let's see, my notes are not organized that much. Mind mapping with colors. Tariq, if that works for you, do that. I'll show you an example of mind mapping for anyone who doesn't know what we're referring to there. Rosa prefers handwriting, overuse of computer and mobile phone. Yeah, it can kind of stress you out, right? Sometimes it's nice just to use a classic pen on paper. All right. I know you're not really Michael. I know, I'm kidding around because I need to learn how to correctly pronounce your name, that's all. Okay, how can I join between teacher's notes and teacher's handout when they are very different? One way to do that, Rosa, is, I know you just said you don't like your phone and everything, but you can snap photos of your notes and handouts and save them as a PDF right from your phone if you have a smartphone or a tablet or computer. You could scan them also at the library. Those are a couple different ways to join those together. Or if you simply want to combine the information, you can summarize the handouts in your notes. So here's your notes, right? This is one note that you took during, let's say, a lecture, a class. And then this is your teacher's handout. So when you go home, you're going to read through your notes and reorganize them. Just at the same time, read the handout and combine them into your last final page of notes. That could help too. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to show you mind mapping really quick here. So mind mapping note take strategy. To some students, this looks totally crazy. But to other students, they see something like this and they're like, wow, I've always needed this. This is perfect. So remember earlier when I said we have different learning styles and some of you something might work really well, and then other students, it's like, no way, it's not for me, can't do it. Well, mind mapping never really worked for me. It's not really my style. It's not what works. But lots of teachers love it. Lots of students love it. So maybe it works for you very well. If so, use it. Do it. Do what works for you. And this looks like a simple explanation of how to create a mind map. You can use shapes. So you can use, you see there's, over here there's pretty much one shape, just that oblong, oval kind of shape. But you could easily use squares instead of ovals to distinguish topics. You could also use color changing. Remember I said my friend in college used different colored pens. So that's an option too. And this, you're right, Romiesa. I hope I'm saying that name correctly, by the way. It's great for visual learners, a mind map. It works fantastic. Okay, so let's see. I think it's time we get to our lesson. So I'm going to close this out. Again, if you're a premium subscriber, you can log on and follow along with me as you watch and listen to the video if you have multiple windows open. And this is 3-3D listening skills. If you want access to this material and access to Smrt and homework and tests and feedback from me, you can contact Zach and find out more information. And for my premium subscribers right now, I have gotten your homework and I will get that back to you shortly. So thank you for that. And great work, by the way. Fantastic. So we talked about symbols yesterday. And remember I said I had this other lesson that I was really excited to do about symbols. This has a ton of them. We're going to go over a bunch. And some of them are very common. You probably already know. Some you might not. But I just wanted to talk about them a little bit in class today. Abbreviations. So we have two different types here. We have abbreviations and symbols. And last class we had a great discussion about the difference between abbreviations and acronyms. Acronyms are where each letter stands for a different word, like scuba. Excuse me. Or what's another good one? USA. USA is an acronym for United States of America, right? Every letter represents a whole word. Abbreviations, on the other hand, are where we just shorten the word and we put a period at the end. We don't always put a period at the end, by the way, but that's common. So EX, for example, LBS for pounds, which actually don't ask me why it's LBS, but it is. FT for feet, KG for kilograms, SCEL, Selma, thank you, props to you. That's awesome. That's my college. That's where I work. That's where I'm broadcasting out of right now. If you're ever in Spokane, Washington, come by the studio and say hi. So if it's common in your profession, what is your profession? What do you do that uses a lot of abbreviations and acronyms? Teachers use these all the time. The UN, you're right, Rosa, United Nations. EG is an, it's actually not an acronym. That would be, that is an acronym. That's not an abbreviation. Even though it has the periods there, EG, because it stands for ergo, which is Latin, like et cetera, but et cetera is one word. Ergo is two. All right, ASAP, another good one, as soon as possible. Systems analyst, awesome. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of acronyms in that profession. I used to work in the medical field, and we had a ton of acronyms. It made your brain hurt really bad by the time you were done studying because you had to learn them all. Exempli gratia. Yes, there's so many EG we would normally say. Like, it's so seldom we actually say those words because they're Latin. IDK, I don't know, IT, information technology. You guys are great. You know a ton of examples. Thank you. Text messaging. That's like the world of acronyms, right? LOL, BRB, IDK. There's tons. So we're gonna go over some of these, and I'm just gonna talk about them for a second. But if you've heard them and you know them, like I'm pretty sure everybody knows kilograms, right? Somebody asked earlier, doctor, is that an abbreviation? Yes, it stands for the whole word, doctor. MS is for Mrs., MR is for Mr. They're all full words. EX, oh, the question is, can EX stand for exercise? Not really. Sometimes, like in the world of acronyms, yes, there's going to be overlap. Like BRB, there's probably a dozen companies that have BRB as their acronym. Like maybe it's BRB Automotive or BRB Shipping. So you'll sometimes see repeats. With abbreviations, it doesn't happen so much because you're shortening one word. So if we already have an existing acronym like EX, most people look at that and they think example. It possibly, but I would not use it for exercise. Like if my friend texted me and said, I'm gonna do some EX tonight, I would think they're gonna do some maybe example questions from school or maybe exercises, I don't know. I just wouldn't probably guess that. But if you can find an example of it, send it to me. I'd love to see it and check it out. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, good morning, Jan. Good morning. Good to have you here. Wow, you guys have so many good examples. This is awesome. All right. What does leaders mean is one of the questions. Okay, so let's see. L for leaders. I think an image is probably. Okay. So liter is a size, a measurement of liquid. So you probably know milliliters. 1,000 milliliters is a liter. And so it's a unit of measurement for liquids is what that is. Good question. Jose, IQ, you're right. Intelligence quotient, that is an acronym. And wait, wow, you guys, this is wonderful. Rosa, LGE for language. I actually haven't seen that one. That's interesting. I'd be curious to know where that is, where you've seen it. Yes, you can, Daniel. BC is very commonly used for because. In fact, I think that might even be on here somewhere. Yeah, right here, BC because. So I'm going to show you a ton of them, but I want to look at this first batch first because there are many. Yep, 1 L of water or 1 kg, 1 kilogram. We are talking about strategies of note-taking. This is a very focused strategy, though. Today's class is super focused, not just on strategy. Yes, using symbols and abbreviations are a strategy, but we're actually talking about the symbols and the pronunciation of those symbols. Like, this can be a little difficult, and with our premium subscribers, we can do this. We can hang out and practice pronouncing these things together. But many of my students don't know how to say this symbol. Because if you see a symbol, it's not always clear how to pronounce it if you don't see the word. So this is the symbol for percent or percentage. But if that was not here, well, I can't really cover it up, but if you only saw this symbol, let me scroll over just a little bit. Yeah, if you only saw this symbol here, you wouldn't know, you would have no clues linguistically, no language clues like letters or spelling to cue you into how to pronounce this symbol. So it can be quite difficult for language learners. And when we come across these, sometimes it stops students' studies. For instance, mathematics. Most of you, I'm certain, are much better at mathematics than me. It's one of my weakest subjects. Great with English, math is a struggle. But many students who are very brilliant and talented in mathematics, they will struggle in class at university because they don't know how to pronounce the symbols, and so when they hear the professor say them, it doesn't make sense. And when they go to explain something in class, they have to stop because they don't know how to pronounce the symbols. Wanako, hello, welcome. And Zaid, yep, etc. That's another good example. This is very useful for taking faster notes. You can take notes 100 times faster if you use shorthand and symbols and abbreviations. So sometimes this symbol will be, which we would call it a slash if we wanted to describe the symbol. This is a slash. It could mean and it could mean per. You might be thinking, okay, what does it per mean? I don't know that. Let me just create a quick Google document here for you, and I will describe a situation where you'd use per. So if your professor says it's a medical school and they say this patient would need to take 1 tablet per hour, you could write something like this. 1 tablet. Tab is the abbreviation for tablet. The slash can mean and or per. And from context here, we can guess that the meaning is per. Let me go to full screen here for you. Make it a little easier to see. Okay, so 1 tablet per hour. It could mean and though. If your professor says something like dinosaurs and humans didn't live together at the same time. Remember, I said didn't live together at the same time. Words like at and the and same we need, that's pretty important. But I just write the most important keywords. Okay. Let me check your questions here. Oh yeah, Tariq, that's the symbol for pound if we're shopping in London, right? Selma and, yeah, we can use both. So we can use, there's several symbols for and that are possible. This we can use for and. We can also use this. We can also use this. This we would call a plus sign. A plus sign. This we would call a slash, and this is an ampersand. It's called an ampersand. A lot of people don't know the name for that symbol, but that's what it's called. So all 3 of those can mean and. Good question, Zaid. The pronunciation of etc. That's another thing. This is used everywhere. It's used in every realm of education. It's used casually. It's used in newspapers, and the pronunciation is etc., etc. And again, I always worry that I'm going to spell that wrong because it's a Latin word. But etc. is etc. Or etc. Both pronunciations I've heard, both are pretty common. Etc., etc. And it's a Latin word. We just always abbreviate it, just like EG, which someone brought up earlier, which is ergo. I think. Let me check that. Make sure I spelled it correctly. E-R-G-O, just 1 R. Okay. So E-R-G-O. And it's a word that I don't spell often because I always just say EG. But good question. It's nice to hear the pronunciation. So when I say it, you should try to repeat and mimic me. So etc. Let's see. Other great questions. The slash is more faster and easier. Ooh, be careful, Ramisa. We don't say more faster. The ER means more. So just, it's faster and easier. But you're right, I agree. To type these other two symbols on a keyboard at least, I have to press the shift key. To do this, it's just one keystroke. It's super quick. So I agree with you. Good point. Good job. Okay. Could mean versus. Yeah, Rosa, you're right. And silent T, etc., etc. ER, I think it's okay. Need to write the article in preparation while we were taking notes, or no? So articles, and I think you meant prepositions, Marwa? No. When you're taking notes, articles and prepositions, I would say, do not write them. It's a waste of time, really, because in good English, it is important and it can have meaning. But in note-taking, the keywords are important enough that we will be able to understand the meaning. Now, if you ever get to a point where you think you need the a, an, or the to give the true meaning, yes, write it down. If you feel that it's important and that it would change the meaning if you did not write it, then yes, it's always better to write it if you feel it would change the meaning. Because sometimes piano is different than the piano. Maybe we are talking about a very specific one that we want to remember. It is specific and not just a piano or any piano. Okay. And Daniel, good job. Sorry, I'm just need more coffee today, I suppose. So let's look at a few others. Does anyone know how we would pronounce this symbol here that's used for all these? Equal or equals. It links ideas. It links ideas. So for example, the ideas could be very different, like, or just a description of the idea. We could say learning or Smrt Live equals awesome. Smrt Live equals awesome. I'm connecting those two ideas, right? I'm connecting them. Good job. Yes, Selma, Rosa, of course, equals. Underline and hyphen. Do you want to know more about the underline and hyphen? Underline would be something like this. Underline or underscore. This would be strike through, like if it goes right through the middle. But underline is this. So if the teacher or professor or boss says underline this, and they're talking about note taking, that is what they probably mean. Hyphen. So a hyphen is this symbol, hyphen. So we have hyphenated words, hyphenated adjectives. My email address has a hyphen in it. Joshua dash, it's dash or hyphen, same thing. Porter at usa-english.com. Oh, excuse me, it's not, it's dot. But I would say dash or hyphen here. It's a hyphen. So I hope that helps. Colon, we want to talk about the colon. Okay, so this is colon, and it's usually used to provide further details about something we just talked about. I went to class, and then I can add more information, like boring as usual. Or it could describe a list. It's used for a lot of different things. It's not a very common symbol, though, in the bulk of writing. I'd say the semicolon is probably more common, which is used to link two independent clauses. Okay. Here's the number symbol. Interestingly enough, in American English at least, this could be number symbol or pound. Pound. We also use it as the pound symbol. So for example, I could say I bought bananas at 99 cents. Oops. Per pound. So I could write this, and native speakers would know what I'm talking about. I could also text my friend and say, maybe they have a friend that I want to reach out to. What's her phone number? So it can mean number or pound, and it depends on the context. Yes, Tariq, we pronounce it the same, pound, pound. But we would not use this symbol to mean the British pound. We would only use this to mean pound as in like weight, measurement that we use here in America because we're crazy. Doesn't make sense. Kilos makes so much more sense because it's 10 base 10. But we're crazy Americans, so it means pound for us. Or number. It's most commonly used for number. Zaid, great question. Is it better to say period or full stop? Period. Say period. Period is what native speakers will use. Full stop is usually used in teaching, in English education, but it's closed into that world of teaching. So most Americans won't know the terms that we use when we're learning English. If you ask an average American, like, oh, what is present continuous? Or what is present progressive? They're gonna look at you and be like, I don't know, I'm not sure. Unless they went through some sort of education to learn those things. So if they're an English teacher, maybe, hopefully. But if they're just somebody on the street that you meet at Starbucks or whatever, probably not. So say period. And that's a great question. I want to teach you guys everyday English, normal English, so that you sound like a native speaker. That's exactly what I want for you. To learn more English and to sound like a native speaker. Those are my goals for you. So please ask questions like that. I love questions like that. Yes, it is called a backslash. So this is a slash, and then this is backslash. So if you're giving a web address over the phone or something weird, you'd say http:// or what is it? Backslash, or excuse me, this one is backslash. I think that one's backslash. Let's find out. Let's find out together. Where's slash? Let's see if there's information on the amazing web. While that's loading, yes, there is slash and backslash, but we don't actually have to pronounce them very often. Okay, so yep, you're right, backslash. Typographical mark. More common is slash, I think. I use slash way more than backslash. But if we were then telling our friend what the address was, we'd say http:// www. whatever, I think is how it goes. And that's how you would say those symbols over the phone. All right, yeah, // that's right. // thank you. Yeah, you might be right, Marwa. I think full stop, they may say that in the UK. When they say the alphabet, they also say Z instead of Z. In America, we say Z. We spell some words differently. They put a U in the word color. We do not. But overall, people will know what you're talking about. Speaking of period, this could be called period, or sometimes we'll say dot. Like think about addresses, web addresses. We say .com, right? Dot. I've never heard anyone say .com. So sometimes based on the context of the situation, you will use a different term. So If you're talking about a website, you'll say .com every time. If you're talking about a sentence or an email address, you might say period or dot. Sometimes I say Joshua.Porter. Sometimes I say Joshua period Porter at USA. But I always say .com. So it can be strange sometimes. Okay. Let's go back to our lesson here and check out more examples of symbols. So if anyone's a chemistry fan or biology fan, CO2, carbon dioxide. We know water, right, is, who's the first person that can give me the chemical compound for water? Go, hurry, go. We'll see who gets that one first, I'm sure you know. W/ / is with. This symbol here is more than. So if I was taking notes and I wanted to use that, I would say my house cost more than my car. Okay, my house cost more than my car. If you're an English speaker and you grew up in, good job. All right, Selma beat you out. Selma, way to go. Woo! Nilofer got it second place, and Tariq comes in with the bronze. Good job. All right, that's fun. I like that. So that is more than. The opposite of that symbol is less than. So if that is more than, I could say my car cost less than my house. And both of those sentences are correct for note-taking. I probably wouldn't even use periods in note-taking. But we can say more than or less than. And an easy way to remember that is, if you look at the screen, this is the bigger side of the symbol, right? So it's more than. This is the smaller side of the symbol. And in English, we read left to right. So this would be less than. And that's just a easy way you can remember. If you need to pronounce those symbols, you can remember how to do it. So my house cost more than my car. My car cost less than my house. Hopefully that helps. All right, Khalid, hey, what's up? All right, so we are gonna keep going and look over some more symbols and abbreviations. Let me just scroll over here. So ML is usually milliliter. MILL is for million. CM is for centimeters. L is for liters. We talked about that. Years. South America, Central America, North America. Chalk could be chocolate. I don't really see that anywhere though. Most people I know write the full word chocolate. Does the use of symbols differ from one person to another, Rosa asks. Yes and no. That's a great question, and there's an important point there. Remember earlier we were talking about the word and, right here. So the word and can be written any of these ways. This can mean and, this can mean and this can mean and. Either the slash, the plus sign, or the and ampersand symbol. All of those mean and, so it will differ person to person. Maybe you really like to use the slash, and Khalid really likes to use plus, and Selma prefers to use the ampersand. All of those are fine, so that will differ person to person. But with things like etc, etc, or pronunciation of dot in .com, or some of these other symbols that we've looked at, like DR for doctor, FT for feet, LBS for pounds, kg for kilograms. These should not differ person to person. They really should not. The reason they work is because everybody sort of agrees on what they mean. Now that's language. Sometimes language will change over time and words' meaning will change. But for the most part, we should all agree that LBS is pounds and nothing else. Because if we use something else, it would create confusion in our lives and we wouldn't really know what was going on. All right. So, you guys are great. Funny. East, E for east, W for west, S for south, N for north. Yeah, of course. Like S, America, we know that's South America. Okay, let's keep going here. We have, for our premium subscribers, here's where you would open the exercise and go ahead and get that started. So we're gonna go over just a few more here, and also premium subscribers, you're gonna wanna review these because we're not gonna get through all of them in class. There's a ton, there's so many symbols, and they're very useful and good for you. So if you're interested in becoming a premium subscriber, you can send me an email or reach out to Zach in our chat. He's happy to give you more information there. Let me see. Okay. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. Approx is approximately. You've probably seen this in text messages before, right? B4. BC for because. We have C for century, 21st century. We have DIFF for difficult. DIF is sometimes used for different, so sometimes they're close, and we want to be careful about that. X can be used for wrong, so I could have made this sentence easier up here. Not live, I could have just put maybe an X, like don't live or not live. There might be an easier abbreviation or symbol that I'm forgetting. Here's and again. Number, let's see. At, we probably all know this one because we say at every time we speak a website, like usa-english.com, or you can email me at joshua.porter@usa-english.com. So we say those a lot. You probably know. What else? First, 1 ST, 2 ND, 3 RD. Now that works for all of the numbers. So first, second, third, and then you go up, it's TH for 4. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. They all go to TH. And then 11th, 12th, on and on and on. So you could write 21st century by simply typing 21st century. Oops, sorry about that. I think I just misclicked. You could type 21st century by just typing this right there. And that is about all the time we have for today. I'm looking at the clock here and it looks like it is 3:27. Wow. 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes here. Without is like with, but with a slash there, / and an O, without. AC, air conditioning, good point, Jose. Yes, you're right. Rosa, yep. Wait just a minute. A tick is for what? Please don't say that it's for false answers. I'm not sure what you mean there. Are you asking if wait a minute and wait a tick are the same? Because they are. I know, Selma, time does fly by, especially when we're having fun like this, right? Jose, yeah, lots of good ones. Central heating. HVAC, you probably know HVAC, HVAC. ASAP. Yeah, oh, you say or nearest offer. In America, we usually say or best offer, OBO. That's interesting. I wonder if that's, if you're in a different place like that uses ONO more commonly. Nilofer, you have to go and start work. Thank you for sticking with us for so long. That's awesome. It was a wonderful class. Have a good day at work, okay? We'll chat next time. PM per month. We wouldn't use that in English, actually, per month. You might use it around an office or with friends who know what you mean, but per month, here's how I would write that. I would write per month, or MON. Even MO, I think, actually is the, yeah, I think it's MO, per month. In English, PM, because we don't use 24 clock time. So right now, I would say it's in here in Spokane, USA, it's 3:29 p.m. or PM. And that is our symbol for, or our acronym for evening hours. And tick symbol, we use it for what? What is the tick symbol? Can you type the tick symbol for me? I'm not sure what you mean by tick symbol, but I'll try to explain it to you. And Jose, yes, non-smoker, we do say that, but we do N/S, not the other way around. Maybe in a lot of languages, you put the negation after the descriptor, smoker, you know, but we put it first here. We'd say non-smoker because we type the word with a hyphen, non-smoker. So that would mean the same thing. Good sense of humor. I like it. These are all great examples. I do have to go. Like I said, if you guys are interested in more information, if you want to come and study with me at our actual school, you can. If you go to usa-english.com, I mean, I would love to see you in real life and have you as a student here. Or you can email me directly. My email is joshua.porter@usa-english.com. If you want more information about our premium subscribing, you can get a hold of Zach right here. Let me just get his email for you. Yep, it's zach@smartenglish.com. I can just type that. @smartenglish. I cannot type today. GLIN. Okay. Wow, that was way too hard. I need to go home and get some sleep myself. So this is the website to my college. If you want to come study here, please do. This is my email if you need to get a hold of me for anything. If you have questions about becoming a subscriber, premium subscriber, or you can email Zach as well. He's happy to help you. So yeah, hello, greetings from Colombia. I hope you're not just tuning in because we're just ending. But tune in again next Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you so much, Selma. I really appreciate that. You guys are great. Truly, I couldn't have this class without you. You guys are the best. So please keep coming back. We'll have fun. We'll do more lessons, and happy to be here with you. I have so much fun doing this. You guys are great, really. Thank you. All right. So I will see everybody later. I'll see you next Tuesday. Use this time, though. If you go out and about, if you live around people who speak your first language, go try to meet somebody who speaks English. Try to, find a friend who speaks English. If you want a friend, email me, and I'll talk to my teachers, and you guys can Skype or something, or the students here. It'd be a lot of fun. So I'm going to let you go for now, but I'll see you next Tuesday, okay? Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you once again. So Tuesday, same time. Have a great weekend, everybody.